Yeah, well, not so quick, but maybe a fix. Take a look. This epoxy error has been sitting, I don't know, it's not a year, but it feels like it. And you can see that I've already started, and yeah, before you ask, I probably should have been wearing a mask. I've got this little mini sander, really cool. I'm really glad I got this last year. And just about have worn that 80 grit on the edges down, trying to get this clean. And for all I know right now, I'm really gouging it. I don't think it's even at this stage. But I did finally get back to just this thing as opposed to this overfill. And it's still standing up. I don't know if we can see how much extra there is on that. Let's give you an idea. It's probably going to take another pad or two to get that off. But I got this one clear so I could show it. Got this one about maybe halfway done because this was all covered over like about to here. And then this one I haven't really started on yet since last year, where I really butched it up trying to use a chisel. Not a great idea. So here, pretty flat. Still needs a little bit of surfacing. Here, got a long way to go, I'm afraid. Here, yeah, I just hope I can get this done, because I'd really like to set this up again. This is the Loaves and Fish symbol for the Chosen logo that I did quite some time ago, and was very happy with it without any infill. But I thought, well, I've got a little extra in this other thing I'm doing. Let me just see if I can, do. Yeah, well, there was way too much for this too. Here we go. Let's keep sanding. This may not be seen as a great thing for a video, but then again, it's already been instructional. It's very hard to get the right spot, so it's not just jumping around when I'm trying to sand. And then when I was sanding, all of a sudden it's like, oh, that's sawdust. That's not epoxy. So I'm digging into the wood, but this is very, very close. So there'll be some other regular sanding that I'll do, but that's very, very close to flat. Now this thing's almost done. So I'm gonna go a little bit more on this, and then I'm put a new pad on for this side probably. That actually is much better. Wow. This might not be a disaster after all. We'll see. This is where somebody, that does a lot of really, really good videos would say, now, there's kind of an analogy in this project, kind of a metaphor for life. Like sometimes you just got too much and you just gotta take some away. There's too much pressure, too much responsibility, too much stress, too much hassle. So you just gotta take that. This is where the comments section comes in. Please, what's your analogy for having too much that you got to take away so you can get even again? You can get things kind of smoothed out again. I would very much like to know what your story would be. Now, if I was Jason Crocker, or if I was Jesper, or Mark Daner, or some of these other guys that I enjoy watching so much, they'd have a fantastic little metaphor worked up that they could tell you, as Mark would say, could make you feel good on the inside. And yeah, I've got one for me that I might share after I see what your comments are. Let's do this side now. I thought maybe I was making smoke, but no, it actually turns out it was just a vapor cloud of plastic. So I'm glad you're not breathing this in, and I shouldn't be. Well, I really have pretty much used this one up, but I decided it's had so much here. I didn't want to start a new one on this, so I'm trying to get this down as much as I can. Then I'll put a new one on to really kind of finish everything. Hopefully. Let's see how that goes. Well, not bad. Although I am now the king of microplastics, I'm afraid. And this is not exactly the same thing it was when I first cut it. It's kind of going to end up getting rounded off and all that. But I'm going to hand sand on this for a while. But I think we've got it leveled up. Although, look, you can kind of see maybe it's gouged a little bit over here. Maybe there's a low spot here. But man, there was a ton on that, wasn't there? Looks much better, and really interested to see. It's going to look great when some finish goes on it, because that's going to really gloss up. Little hand sanding, and then we try to finish it. Now the 180 is starting to bring out the grain again. That is a relief, because I didn't know. This would be better if this was orbital, but this is what I can do right now. Yeah, not terrible. Okay, got a 220, 240, and a 320 to try yet. But it is kind of nice to see the grain coming out again. That's evening out pretty well. Let's see. I'll get a little closer. Yeah. Not bad. There might be hope for this thing yet, although my bad chisel work, I think, is always going to be part of the project now. Alright, that's with 320 grit. Now let's clean it up. It just occurs to me that maybe I shouldn't have used alcohol to clean that off. Probably would have been good to start with water, and then it probably would have been good to use maybe mineral spirits or something rather than alcohol. I don't know what that does to the wood now that I think about it. Maybe you know. Leave me some information on that if you'd like, and I probably should look it up myself too. Okay, I think we've got it. That's about as smooth as I need to try to get it. I don't have a lot of raised elements here. I think we're seeing it's pretty flat, nothing extra. Okay, so I think I need to think about how I'm going to seal this. I do want to, I think, put clear coat on it after it's all done, but for now I'm going to use this golden oak to stain the wood. I hope it turns out okay. Might need a little more deburr here, maybe one more sanding pass. So let's get that wet. That's water. And I do need to clean out these little plastics and the wood that is left over here. Let's see if just wiping it down will take care of that. I don't know that it will. Here we go. Well, this side I think will be fine to stain, and I think it will look nice. And I think the front will too. But let's get this done and let it set for just a few seconds, and then we'll wipe the rest of that off, let it soak a bit. Yeah, I thought oh, it's something on my screen. Okay, yeah, had some little stuff down inside. I think pretty much got it out. Wow. November of 24. Wow, maybe it has been sitting messed up for a year almost. My goodness. All right. Let's kind wipe that off now. I'll leave that set for a little bit and then come back to do the other side. Go ahead and hit these edges with the excess while I'm at it. Oh, that was not great video, was it? Sorry about that. There. It's amazing that laser cut through all of that. Although evidently I was mistreating it while it was happening. I'm going to go ahead and even that out on this side while the rest of it has a chance to dry. One of the challenges with this, I didn't have the kerf just exactly right. So when I cut this as the stand, it was a little loose, and now that I've sanded on it, it's going to be even more loose. But anyway, that is all fine. I'll put a shim in it or something if I need to. It's awful pretty wood. Yeah, I think I like that side as the display side. Let's see. Yeah, it's got it's a little smoother. It's got a little more happening in the grain there too. Well, coming back in a little bit. To finish up today, the reason that I want to do this, testing this method out, which seems to have worked, is I've got these things that I did for the kids of my boss at work. They're not done yet, obviously, but I got way too much on them too. And so I really want to finish these up. We need like opaque white here, and we got green here, and this needs to be blue, if I'm remembering the company. No, this is blue. This is blue, and this needs to be green. Yeah, that's right. So I'm just about to get my courage up to try some epoxy again. This is a good test today to see if I could clean this up. And I'm really, really happy with how it seems to be turning out so far. And it gives me hope that I can make these look decent as well. I just think it's kind of fun. And it's also a good experiment for me in learning how to do maybe some major epoxy projects, including maybe a chess set. Man, that would be fun. So there is the Fish and Loaves. Boy, it came a long way. I need to get a before and after, don't I? That's a big difference, and I think it's going to be even better when this cures and I can put the clear coat on it. But for now, I'm going to say I'm blessed and grateful. I did not have to feed the 5,000. In other words, do something perfect or miraculous. I just had to share what I could do, and this is what I can do so far, hoping to get better as it goes along. And I hope you have a great week, because we're all blessed, and that's a good reason to be grateful. Thanks for watching.